everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to edit songs for Where Winds Meet. Step 1. Get your sheet music or your MIDI file. You can use MuseScore or any other source as long as you can download the raw MIDI. Choose a piano sheet that includes the melody and the chords. That makes editing way easier. On MuseScore, download the MIDI on the right side of the page. Save the MIDI file to your computer and you're ready for the next step. Step 2 is super simple. Just open onlinesequencer.net. It's the tool we'll use to clean and adjust your song. Once you're on the page, grab your MIDI file and just drag it right into the center. The site will load everything for you automatically. When the MIDI loads, look for the two main tracks, the left hand and the right hand. The blue track, labeled Grand Piano, is your melody line. This is the part you always want to keep clean and clear. And the electric piano track is your chords. These support the song, but we can simplify them if needed for better gameplay. Next, take a moment to check if the tempo is right. The song should feel close to the original speed before you start editing anything. If the tempo feels off, don't worry. Just adjust it until the playback matches the general flow of the original track. And for accuracy, always double check the tempo on the original music sheet or reference video. It helps keep your edit clean and true to the song. Before you start editing, let me show you the main tools you'll be using. Knowing these makes everything so much easier. The Draw tool lets you add new notes wherever you need them. It's perfect for fixing small mistakes or filling missing parts. The Select tool is the one you'll use the most. It allows you to grab notes, move them, or adjust whole sections. Make sure it's the first tool you activate before editing. You also have the Erase tool, but the quick trick is that you can just right-click directly on the score to delete notes instantly. Super helpful when cleaning up. Just start by selecting the notes you want to adjust. That's always your first step. Then pick the instrument you want for those notes. It only takes a click. Once you change it, the software applies everything automatically for you. If you want to isolate an instrument, you can. It helps you focus on just one hand or one part at a time without all the noise around it. There's also a cute little shortcut, Control plus Shift, then left click. It instantly solos the track you want. For quick editing, you can use the classic shortcuts. Copy with Control C, paste with Control V, and cut with Control X. Super simple and super fast. If you ever need to grab everything at once, just press Control A. It selects the entire track instantly. When your edit is finished, you can export your MIDI. Just click the export option in the top right, pick your file name, and save it to your computer. And here you have some extra tools. They help you fine-tune your edits, fix timing issues, and keep your song clean and easy to play in-game. This is the grid setting, and it's set to 1/16. The grid decides how your notes snap when you move or place them. At 1/16, you get small, precise steps. If you pick a bigger value, the notes will snap in larger jumps and feel less detailed. This is the key setting. Online Sequencer usually auto-detects the key of your MIDI. Here it picked C major. This section is mostly just for reference, and it doesn't change how you edit or place your notes. Before we start editing, it's really important to understand the basics. The game has a limited playable range, so everything we do has to stay inside that space. For Where Winds Meet, we work between C4 and B6. Any note that falls above or below that range needs to be brought back inside it, so the melody plays correctly in-game. To move around the editor, you can use your middle mouse button. Just click it to play or stop the song while you work. It makes checking your edits super quick. To move up and down in the editor, simply scroll your mouse wheel. It's the easiest way to jump between low and high notes. If you want to scroll left or right, hold Shift and use the mouse wheel or press the left or right wheel button. It helps you navigate the timeline smoothly. Here are a few useful hotkeys. Hold Shift while selecting to add or remove notes from your selection, and you can also drag to select multiple notes at once. To move notes quickly, just hold Control and use the arrow keys. If you want to change all notes to the same instrument, start by selecting everything with Control A, then hold Control and left click on any note of the instrument you want. The whole track will switch instantly. Here we can see our first notes that go above the B6 limit, so we need to bring them down by 1 octave. To keep the melody's harmony, we never move a single note alone. Instead, we select the whole section so everything stays balanced. Once the block is selected, we move it down by 1 octave. You can do it manually by lowering it 12 steps, or simply press Ctrl plus Shift and the down arrow to shift it instantly. Sometimes, after moving a melody down an octave, it may overlap with the chord underneath, and it can sound a little too crowded. When that happens, we fix the space by adjusting the chord instead of the melody. All we need to do is remove the top note of the chord. Just erase the highest notes and keep the lower ones. It gives the melody room to breathe and keeps everything sounding clean. We're going to do the same thing here with the whole block. Just move it down one octave, then clean up any extra chord notes that get in the way. Keep the lower notes and remove the top ones so the melody stays clear. Here again, we select the whole melody section. Then we grab the chords that sit above C5 because anything higher than C5 can safely be lowered by one octave and still stay inside the playable range. It keeps everything clean and easy to play. This note is too low to move down by a full octave and stay in range. In this case, use the 7-note rule. Shift it up or down by 7 steps depending on what sounds best. It keeps the melody natural, and sometimes you may need to adjust to 6 or 8 steps instead. The 7-note rule is especially useful for fixing chords. It keeps everything smooth without changing the harmony too much. For the melody, only use it when it's really necessary. With time and a bit of experience, you'll start feeling exactly when to apply it. Here, we're going to take the entire section instead of just one note and move it down by one octave. Then we'll do the exact same thing for the next section. Working with full blocks keeps everything aligned and the harmony intact. From here, you've got the big idea. Just look at what's too high and apply the same technique I showed you. Don't be afraid to try it your own way too. This part is all about getting comfortable and trusting your ear. So let's speed things up a little. Try to watch what I'm doing and use it as an example to start your own editing process. The more you follow along, the faster it'll all start to make sense. Here, you can check your chords and bring them down along with the melody so they don't overlap. If there's enough room in the range, lowering the chords keeps everything clear and gives the melody space to shine. Here's a little trick to test your melody. You can select all your notes and apply the grand piano sound to everything. Just press Ctrl, Shift, and left click. This lets you hear the full melody clearly with only the grand piano sound. Once you've listened to it, simply press Ctrl-Z to go back to your normal setup, with the left hand and right hand using their own instruments again. It's a quick way to check if your melody feels clean. Here, I'm going to use two methods. First, I'll move the entire first block of notes down by one octave. Doing it as a full section keeps everything consistent and avoids breaking the harmony. But for the final note of the melody, I'll only shift it down by 7 steps. Dropping it a full octave would place it too low and the melody would lose its shape. It's a compromise. Not perfect, but it works well for the song. Again, I won't drop the whole section by one octave just for a single note. Instead, I'll use the 7-note technique and move that note down by 7 steps. It still sounds right, and it keeps the rest of the melody exactly where it should be. Before you start working on the chords, take a moment to double check your melody. Make sure you didn't miss any notes or leave something out. It's always easier to fix the melody first before adjusting everything around it. Okay, for the next part, we're going to tackle the accompaniment, the chords. There are two main ways to do this, and I'll start by showing you the simplest approach. The lazy way is to select everything below C4 and raise it by 1 octave. If some notes are still under C4 afterward, just repeat the process and push them up another octave until everything sits in range. But be careful. Not a single chord should end up higher than your melody. If that happens, you can delete the extra chord notes or lower them by 1/5 to keep the melody clear and on top. Now that everything is selected and raised by 1 octave, all that's left is to decide how you want to arrange your track. You can keep it in 2 tracks, left hand and right hand, or merge everything into one, which is the method I personally prefer. Once you've arranged it the way you like, just export the file as a MIDI and give it a test. It's the quickest way to hear how your edits feel in the game. For the more traditional manual method of adjusting chords, the idea is pretty much the same. You either raise them by 12 or by 7, but you do it gradually as you work through the song. We try to keep everything in blocks as much as possible. If a block doesn't fit, then we switch to the 7-step method instead. It keeps the harmony cleaner without breaking the flow. If a note is already in the right range, but the notes around it aren't, we keep the one that's correct and only raise the others. It's all about balancing the chord without changing the melody. A lot of this comes down to your own judgment. Chords are surprisingly flexible, so you can experiment as long as you stay inside the correct key and scale. I'll let you watch how I do it, because seeing it visually is much clearer than explaining every tiny step. Here, this is probably one of the best examples to show that a lot of this is trial and error. You try things out, and as long as you stay within similar octaves, the right range, and the correct scale, everything will be fine. It's really your moment to experiment and see what works. All right, now let's save it and test it out. This is the fun part, hearing everything you've worked on come to life. Go ahead, export your MIDI, load it up, and see how it feels in game. It's always exciting to hear the final result after all that editing. So it already sounds good, but we can refine it a little more. This last part is what I call the cleanup. Cleanup basically means giving the music some room to breathe. The game can play all the notes at once, but sometimes it gets a bit crowded or heavy. So we remove a few inner notes to lighten things up. We don't touch the highest note and we try not to touch the lowest one either. We focus on the notes in between. I'll let you watch how I do it. It's easier to understand when you see it happen. Now we're going to give the song a little finale by slowing down the tempo. It creates a more natural and gentle ending, almost like the music taking a soft breath. To do that, we'll shift the notes using the 1/16 grid. It's a small step and doesn't take long, but it adds a really nice finishing touch. You'll find the tool we need in the top right dropdown. It's called Stretch. It lets you stretch a full selection, so we'll use it on the finale to slow the notes a bit and shape the ending. I'll let you watch how I do it again. Sometimes seeing the movement is easier than explaining every detail. And now, the final thing. Once your ending is stretched and everything feels right, just give it one last listen. Make sure the flow feels natural and the melody shines through. If it does, then you're all set. Your edit is officially complete. To finish, I just want to wish good luck to everyone using this guide. I really hope it helps you feel more confident with your edits. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If it was useful to you, don't hesitate to subscribe, like the video, or leave a little comment. And if you feel something is missing or unclear, just let me know. I always read your messages, and I'll answer as soon as I can. You can also join me on Discord if you want to talk about music, your edits, or just hang out with the community. I'd be really happy to see you there.